lads and lasses, and all the company of the World Wide Web, lend me your ear, for your listening pleasure, the fable of a fool. Well, there was a lad called Galahad who was so very pleased with his mug of apple cider that he saw a chance to seize. He called the elder waitress over to the tavern's bar and asked who he should thank for this, his favorite drink by far. Our bed is made in house, of course I'll show you to the shelf. You'll have to please speak up a bit, for he is nearly deaf. There was a lad called Galahad who was so very pleased with his mug of apple cider that he met the man who squeezed. Thank you, chef. Thank you, chef. 3 times he thanked the chef before his faulty ears had heard. Then our Galahad did ask what apple vendor he preferred. I purchased all my produce from a merchant north of town. It's Barty's, you can't miss it, for his sign is upside down. There was a lad called Galahad who was so very pleased with his venue's famous drink that Barty's address he received. He set off north to find it and went to the marketplace, and indeed the sign was flipped and it did need to be replaced. Thank you, merchant, said lad, where do you get these finest apples in the land? Said merchant, miles from here there lies a lovely orchard grand. There was a lad called Galahad who was so very pleased. He went to orchard then and gawked at what had been achieved. The owner grinned with pride and asked, how do you like my farm? Well, it's got a certain vigor and it's got a certain charm. Thank you, farmer. Good sir, what is the secret of this farm? Asked Galahad. He said, the Lord's been good to me this year, I'm grateful and I'm glad. There was a lad called Galahad who was so very pleased with the bounty of the harvest that he got down on his knees. He prayed to God in heaven, blessed him by this sacred day, for these men have brought my cider, yes, I thank you, Lord, he prayed. And God said, my child, you're very kind and so appreciative, and yet still you haven't thanked the waitress, Galahad, lest you forget. There was a lad called Galahad who'd thank all that he'd see behind his mug of apple cider, or so he had perceived, for it was the dear old lady from whose hand to his 'twas placed. So with regret he headed back to town, so the server he could grace. Thank you, waitress. I'm glad you finally learned to thank the ladies just as well, she said. And so our story ends, go forth and yet again retell. And so our story ends, go forth and yet again retell. And so our story ends, go forth, and yet again retell.